supine pelvic rock. So have your knees bent.
Yeah.
Just take a minute to have 3
Relax.
breaths. And I want you to let your whole rib cage relax into the ground. Let go of any tension at the back of your hips or in your feet or in your neck or jaw. And you'll take a few breaths to not feel like you're grabbing at your breath a little bit. The more that you can put it into your sides and your back, the better. And then we're going to start off with the pelvic rock, so more or less what you're familiar with, but I want you to imagine that your belly button is kind of the axis. So I'm going to feel like I'm lifting my belly button to the ceiling, and that will tip my pelvis forward. Just go as far as is comfortable. You might find that something like I just have grabs a little bit in your low ribs, just roll it out a little bit. And then the belly button coming backwards into the ground, so it's almost like you're being pulled from that midpoint. The pelvis naturally comes up, the ribs kind of, as you breathe out, flatten down and back a bit more. Let it ease out, belly button up to the ceiling. So go through that probably a good 5 or 10 times. Now the beauty of this is you can build in more bits. So that as you come up this way, you can let your knees come out a little bit, let the pelvic floor relax. As you're coming back, the belly button goes to the floor, you're breathing out, it lifts the pelvic floor. You can squeeze your knees in a little bit. So you're getting a number of things moving at one time and really trying to find that deep core activation. And then while you're on that kind of pelvic floor awareness, you can kind of feel like you're pulling up on the right, let it go completely, pulling up on the pelvic floor on the left, let it go completely, pull up the front, let it go, pull up the back. So think of it in quadrants, let it go, and then feel like you're going around like the petals of a dahlia, all the way in, all the way out, all the way in. Do that a few times. So you're really getting that pelvic floor working. And then you can do a few more rocks if you want to. Okay, and then we're going to go into the bridge roll-ups. So this is just going into a bridge, but I want you to do this first thing that you did with the belly button. So taking your belly button backwards, so you're not just driving it from your pelvis, then you've naturally got that little bit of a tilt, then you're rolling up slowly. So your feet are very anchored, you're very stable through here. If you need a breath, kind of bring it into your sides, all the way out through here. So you're not just flinging back up. So remember that your belly button is still dropped back and you're lifting really through your hips. And if you reach your arms up, it will help you to make space. I think of it as the back of the heart space for you to move your breath. And you can stay there for a few breaths, really feel your feet on the ground so that they're not gripping, they're like relaxing into the ground. Nothing else is having to work really. It's quite a relaxed, passive position because you've already controlled everything that you have to. And then you're going to roll back down and roll back up. Belly button. Everything else will take care of itself. Good. Okay, and then once you've done that a few times, I want you just to feel like you're lengthening one knee away from you. So your pelvis will kind of feel like it's turning the other way. You don't need to move this leg. You're just moving this, bring it back. Lengthen this one, and you will probably find that one doesn't move as much as the other. Totally fine. Lengthening that, bring it back. And again, probably about 5 times, and you'll feel really different from the left to the right of your pelvis, and we'll start to kind of smooth that out as we go through various stages of what we do. Okay, supine angel. So this is just a really nice, easy movement for your arms. So relax your ribs back, feel your pelvic floor working for you a little bit. So you've now got a little bit of warmth and awareness and activation through here. You're going to bring both arms up. Let them start to come out if it feels pinchy in your shoulders, and it will. And then slide your elbow and hand on the ground. Keep those ribs down. So I haven't arched as I've gone into that movement.
God, that feels fantastic. I can feel it.
Yeah. Great. Again, about 5 of those. And then, okay, we're going to do no bugs, foot slides. Okay, so I'm going to take one shoe off and just bring my mat over. So just get something that you can slide on a little bit. So breathe all the way out, relax your ribs back, feel your pelvic floor, bring one knee up, okay? And you can push this knee into your hand just to keep that awareness and stability. And then I want you to slide the other foot away. Bring it back. Bring it back without arching your back. Okay, and again, 5 on each side. And then we're going to do a little standing number. I'm going to face this way. So left foot back, be right up against a wall if you can. And I want you to use this hip to push the other hip into the wall, and then find the whole foot on the other side. So you don't need or want this knee against the wall, because what you're going to do, you're using this side to push you into the wall, and then you're letting that knee slide forward. And you'll see that I'm slightly kind of turning towards the camera basically, and ultimately I'll get this kind of lengthening through the arch of my foot, this heaviness in the middle of my foot, and slide back, pushing into the wall, drifting my knee forward, letting the foot be heavy and lengthen. I'm staying upright, so I'm trying not to follow it with my torso, coming back. And this is just kind of a prelim to starting to find the same movement but without the wall, and getting more range in that lower leg, ankle and foot, which will be